Hello watchers, today I've got a ScrawlrBox, so let's crack it open. I think it's pencils, judging by that noise. Whoa, we've got a pencil sharp. Oh god, that's a weighty pencil sharpener. It's this Stebler one. Graphite. Oh, clues already. Then we've got Sweetie, which contains butter, and it's the Swizzles. To me, this looks like a Werther's original, but it's a Swizzle. So, see what that's about in a minute. We'll just pop that to one side one moment. Get our bits out here. We've got the Zine, which we'll have a look at in a minute, but here's the art print of a beautiful, beautiful, I was going to say a leopard for a minute there, but I know it's a tiger. It's a tiger. And then this is the artiste. Mexico City, nice. Cecilia, I'm not even going to attempt your last name because I will butcher it, but that's all the details. If you're interested in this beautiful art style, see what else she does. Then we've got some A5 toned paper. This is very thin toned paper. Like, I don't know if you guys use parcel paper, but it's the same, maybe a little bit thicker, but only a tiny bit. Oh, that's interesting. That's the colour on one side. And then that's the colour on the other side. So you've got a choice of two. And I think they're both just the, yeah, it's the same like on all of them. So I think you've got a choice of using either side, but it is, as you can tell when we're just flipping it over like that, it's very easily creased. It's 115 GSM, so that gives you an idea of how thin it is. There's 10 sheets in there. So what have we got in our little tissue pouch? Let's get rid of that. So we have got a Unipin fine line extra fine brush. Ooh, that looks nice. I do love a good fine brush. You get some interesting line work with it. Then we've also got a Fractious eraser of some sort. And then we've got some Derwent fine art pencils, but which fine art pencils are they? Ah, we've got some Chroma Flows. I know Derwent have just released some new Chroma Flow colours, so I'm guessing that these are the new ones. We have got a basil, a foliage, a white, a black, a rushkin, raisin, raisin, and a golden sun colour. So we've got very nice colours. I love my deep greens and sort of earthy colours. I'm pleased with those. Then we've got our tiger print sticker, which is lovely. So, our challenge is a walk on the wild side. So let's have a quick look in the scrollazine before I swatch these colours out. I really cannot speak today. This is not going to be a very well put together video. Okay, so we have got a contents page with a little bit of extra tips in there. Then we've got all about the artist. Oh, look at that monkey. He is cute. And the colours on this bird is lovely. Lovely jubbly. Then we've got some artist advice as well as tips and things to try. And then we've got the Scrawler Gallery from February. I really like this. It looks like wax resistant. but I'm guessing she's used the gel pen. Nice. That is really creative, that one. That one's a mouse inside a plastic bottle being used as a submarine. Sort of, I love that. That's amazing. I'm going to have to check out that person. That's lovely. And then a little bit about colour theory and Earth Day. So yeah, let's swatch these colours out. First I want to see what this brush pen is like. But look how fine of a line you can get with this. And obviously fatter. It looks very textured on this paper because it's smooth, but it's also textured. It's not like, when I say smooth, it's not like cold pressed watercolor paper, but it's not smooth like Bristol paper or hot press paper. It's in between, so it's got a bit of a texture to it. But this is a nice brush pen. I like that. I like it. Look. Put them there. Then we've got, ooh, nice green. This is the foliage one. They feel waxy, and you can see the paper texture through it. Unless you press super duper hard, which is one reason why I'm not a fan of pencil crayons. But the pigment though is lovely though. It's very nice, vibrant. Even the yellow stands out on this tone paper. It's nice. I already know what I'm going to do, and I think if anyone's seen any of my Scrawler vids before, you know what I'm going to do. It's the perfect colours for it. I can't not do it. The white really stands out on this tone paper, which is so nice. And then the black, of course it's going to stand out. See, to me, these are very hard pencils, which is good because there's no breakage for pencil crayons. But I think it's because I've been using pastel pencils very recently that are like butter. So to me, this is like really hard at the moment. So yeah. And as I've said, pencil crayons are not my favourite. But I do love these colours. Look how nice they are. So yeah. Let's get on with doing a walk on the wild side. Okay, so I've had a bit more of a play with layering and using the eraser, and they do lift very well, even though I've put a lot of pigment down. It still shows a little bit, but the fact that I put a lot of pigment down, that's pretty good without tearing the paper up as well, which is really nice. I've done a few thumbnails for the stuff I'm going to be doing. So I'm actually going to stick quite close to what the artist has done, but obviously in my own style. Now, anyone that's watched my Scrawler videos before know that I am currently working on these characters that have just jumped up on screen. And of course this is a walk on the wild side, so of course I'm going to have to use Archie the fox. So I've gone ahead and just done a quick line drawing using the raisin pencil, not the russet pencil as I was trying to call it earlier. Just slightly gone over because I'm guessing this is the colour I'm going to be using the most, probably the yellow as well. So I don't really have any idea of technique or whatever I'm going to be using because I don't use coloured pencils. I normally don't like using coloured pencils, so we're just going to have a play, see how this goes. Hopefully it goes quite well. But I just know I want to try and get because like the Archie that you can see on screen now is obviously very basic to basically make it easier to animate. Whereas this one I want to add more texture and more detail, just because, you know, why not? And the aim of the game with these pencils is to layer, texture, highlight, basically get as much, so it's not a block solid colour like you can see on screen. Although the artist here, I don't actually think they've used chroma flow pencils, or maybe they have, I don't know. But to me it looks more like pastel pencil, especially with the smooth pens, gradients and things in blending. But it does say in the scrollazine that you can use obviously blending things to burnish or whatnot, which is like baby oil or alcohol ink, all sorts of different things that you can use. But I'm just going to stick with what we've got in the box for today. So let's get on with doing it. So in terms of Archie's fur, here's the typical colours. So we've got not 2 but 3 colours because the paper itself can hopefully work for me. Do I want to work in the darker areas first? Yes, because I've learned with my little swatches here that you can actually lighten the colour. So it doesn't matter if I go too dark or whatnot. But I think it's just going to be a lot of layering and a lot of testing to see how it goes. So let's get on with it. I think I'm gonna give it a black outline, just purely. If this was on white paper, I wouldn't, but because the tone is very similar, so it's going to give it a more cartoony effect, but I don't know. Let's see. Just because I can do very fine lines. Without it looking too overbearing. And plus I can break up the lines as well, so it's not too cartoonish. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there because I do have a habit of taking it too far and then ruining it. But let me know what you think, or if you've got any tips for colouring pencils. As I said, this is not my medium at all, not my favourite, but these pencils, these Chroma Flow Derwent pencils are really nice and vibrant and pigmented, and I'm impressed at how well they do lift off. if you need to, or if you just want to use highlights, etc. Which, did I use highlights? No, I used the white pencil as a highlight instead. I love this fine liner brush. This is very nice, especially on this paper, because it gives a textured line as opposed to a solid black line. So that's really nice. So you don't go overboard with it, and you can build it up, which is quite rare for a black pen. The sharpener is really good as well for these pencils. I don't know about other pencils, but it's very weighty. It always shocks me when I first pick it up. But yeah, I really enjoyed this box. This year so far, 2022, we have not yet had a ScrawlrBox I've not liked in some form or another. So my luck might run out in May. We shall see. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. It really does help the channel out. And thanks so much for watching. In the meantime, happy architecting.